We survived 35 years of marriage, raised 3 kids, built a life together, and then I retired. 6 months later, my wife looked at me and said, "I married you for better or worse, but not for lunch every single day." That's what a man named Tom told me, and he wasn't joking. He was terrified his marriage wouldn't survive retirement. If you're reapproaching retirement and worried about what happens when you go from seeing your spouse a few hours a day to 24/7s, or if you're already there and feeling the strain, this video might just save your marriage. Because retirement doesn't just change your schedule, it rewires your entire relationship. Here, something nobody tells you when you're replanning for retirement. The #1 challenge is UNT financial. It's relational. One study found that women's risk of depression increases significantly when their husbands retire, and divorce rates among couples over 50 have doubled in the past 20 years, with many happening right after retirement. This isn't because people suddenly stop loving each other, it's because the problems are structural, not emotional. For decades, you and your spouse had separate worlds. You had work friends, work stress, your own identity. You came home, shared highlights, and had your own space. Now you're both home all day, every day, and that person you used to miss. You might be getting tired of seeing them at lunch. If you're feeling suffocated, resentful, or like you've lost yourself, you're not broken. You're experiencing what therapists call retired husband syndrome, and it's incredibly common. Let me tell you about Linda and Paul. They'd been married 42 years when Paul retired. Linda worked from home and had her routines down perfectly. When Paul retired, everything changed. He'd wander into my office every 20 minutes, Linda told me, asking what I wanted for lunch, suggesting we run errands, wanting to help by reorganizing my files. I felt like I was being smothered. Paul saw it completely differently. He thought she'd be happy to have him home and wanted to spend time together. The turning point came during a massive argument over Paul moving Linda's coffee mug. "I screamed at him over a coffee mug," Linda said. "That's when I knew we needed help." They sat down and had the most important conversation of their marriage, not about love, but about logistics, about space, about identity. They'd planned their finances and travel, but they'd never talked about the daily reality of being together 24/7. 6 months after that conversation, they're thriving, and the solution wasn't a romantic vacation. It was redesigning their marriage for this new chapter. Now, before you start planning separate bedrooms, stay with me, because the strategies that save retirement marriages are surprisingly simple. I call this the 3 zones framework. Every healthy retirement marriage needs 3 distinct zones. Zone 1, scheduled together time. This sounds strange, but proximity isn't intimacy. Sitting on the couch, scrolling your phones, isn't quality time. Linda and Paul now have dates 3 times a week: a Tuesday morning walk, Thursday lunch out, Saturday at the farmer's market. These are protected times where they're actually present with each other. When togetherness is intentional, it feels special. When it's 24/7 by default, it feels suffocating. Zone 2, protected alone time. This is non-negotiable. You need time every day when you're physically separate. For Linda, it's her work hours, when her office door is closed. For Paul, it's his morning gym routine and his volunteer shift. The rule is no guilt. Alone time isn't rejection. It's oxygen for the marriage. Zone 3, flexible parallel time. This is the magic zone most couples miss. It's being in the same space, doing different things, without pressure to interact. Linda might be reading in the living room while Paul watches a documentary. There's comfort in their presence without obligation. This zone prevents conversation burnout, where by dinner you have nothing left to say. This framework works because it reframes being together 24/7 from a burden to a choice. All right, let's make this practical. Do these 2 exercises with your spouse this week. Exercise 1, the Schedule Audit. Sit down together with a weekly calendar. Mark, in red, the time you must be together, like appointments. Mark in green the time you WANT to be together for dates or shared hobbies. And mark in blue the time you each need alone. The goal is at least 2 hours of green time and 2 hours of blue time every day. If your calendar is all red, your marriage is in danger. Exercise 2, the Territory Talk. Walk through your house together and claim territories. This is my reading chair in the morning. This is my desk. Please don't reorganize it. The garage is my space from 9 to 11 a.m. on weekends. Write it down and respect it. Violating territory creates resentment faster than almost anything else. Look, surviving marriage after retirement isn't about loving each other more. It's about respecting each other as need for space and identity outside of being someone as spouse. The couples who thrive are the ones who figured out how to be together and apart in the same life. We talk about the real challenges of life after 60, including the marriage struggles nobody warns you about. Subscribe for more honest conversations about navigating this chapter, and drop a comment. What's the biggest challenge in your marriage since retirement? Or, if you're not retired yet, what are you most worried about? Let's talk about it. Remember, you didn't survive decades together just to lose each other in retirement.